Thank you so much, Erica, and welcome everyone to the Resilient Restart EBR Small Business Microgrants Program. This is our second information session, and we are excited that you are here with us. We are excited that you are interested in this program to support your business through COVID-19. Again, we welcome all questions, we welcome feedback, and we want to make sure that you have all the information that you need to be successful in your application. At this time, what I love to do is to introduce you to our Mayor President, Ms. Sharon Weston Broome, who's going to provide us with some welcome remarks. We want to thank her for her leadership. We want to thank her for her vision. We want to thank her for her insight to understanding the needs of small business owners in East Baton Rouge Parish. This is a program that her office is spearheading. And the Urban League of Louisiana is so proud to be a part of this process as the administrator of the Resilient Restart EBR Small Business Microgrants Program. And with that, Mayor Broome.
Thank you so much. And I salute the Urban League and so glad to be partners with you all in the Resilient Restart EBR Small Business Microgrants Program. I'm glad that you all are having this information session. And I certainly want to thank everyone who's joining the webinar today and trying to get additional information so that we can work together to rebuild our local economy here in East Baton Rouge Parish. You see this big smile on my face because I am just excited about this microgrant program. It is innovative, creative, and once again, I want to thank the Urban League, Ms. Duncan, and all of your team for everything that you all are doing to help us implement this program. And you know, I don't have to tell you that over the past 5 months that many small businesses especially have had to make some major adjustments, modifications, from temporary closures to staffing modifications to new safety precautions and an assortment of rules and regulations. And as small business owners and micro enterprise owners, you represent the backbone of our economy here in Baton Rouge. You represent 80% of our economy and you employ thousands of residents within our parish. So it is imperative for our community to explore every possible venue to support your recovery. And so this Resilient Restart EBR program, our Resilient Restart EBR program, is one of the many steps that we are taking to make sure that we do that to help our small businesses. Earlier this year, I had a conversation with my Mayor's Business Roundtable that's been in existence since I've been mayor, and we talked about Restart Baton Rouge Economic Task Force. We emerged with that, and then from the task force, and through hard work and a lot of innovation from the members of our task force, we were able to establish a $1 million microgrant program for small businesses based here in East Baton Rouge Parish. So this is a perfect example of a positive public-private partnership, which is benefiting all of the small businesses that qualify. And of course, through time of adversity, we have to have these partnerships. I tell people all the time that local budgets weren't designed for a global pandemic like this. And so I'm very honored once again to have the program led and managed by the Urban League of Louisiana, which is a dedicated partner for workforce and economic development throughout our community. They're going to help facilitate your small business recovery. And before I turn it back over to the Urban League, I feel like I've taken too much time. I want to say thank you. Thank you to all of our small business owners who have weathered the adversity during this global pandemic. And thank you for taking this step on the road to recovery. And thank you to all of our partners, all of the many business partners. You see them on the screen who have invested in this micro enterprise program. And thank you to the Urban League for facilitating our road to recovery. And I can't wait to see the impact this is going to have on the businesses that are able to benefit from this. It will definitely have a big impact on our entire community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor Broome. And again, Your leadership in this space to support small businesses in the parish is definitely going to produce an impact for our small businesses. We know that businesses are going through a tough time and immediate emergency funding is needed. And in addition, the program supports small businesses by also offering technical assistance. You know, here at the Urban League, we want to make sure that businesses not only get the connections to funding opportunities, but also get the support that they need in developing business plans to really move their business forward, not just during COVID-19, but also after, right? We want to see businesses sustain themselves and be profitable, viable businesses past the pandemic. And so we are here in support and in collaboration with you. And again, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and again, for your leadership in the space for the Resilient Restart EBR program. Thank you, Mayor Broome.
Thank you.
And so again, welcome everyone. We are excited to be hosting this information session for the Resilient Restart EBR program. I want to make sure that everyone is open to asking questions. As Erica mentioned at the top of the program, please make sure that you ask your questions in the questions panel in your GoToWebinar panel on the side of your screen. Please ask your questions and we will address them as we go throughout the session, but also we'll leave some time at the end for your questions. But I want to start off with talking about what this program is. And as Mayor Broome mentioned, the City of Baton Rouge, East Baton Rouge Parish is on the road to recovery, right? And so this program offers, micro grants of $2,500 to eligible small businesses and micro enterprises. Again, this program is administered by the CARES Act. The Urban League is administering the program, managing the application process and the disbursement process for awards. But this program is also supported by a number of funding partners. Of course, again, the CARES Act through the HUD Community Development Block Grant, but also additional funds were provided and are being provided by Investar Bank, GMFS LLC, Postal Way to Netterville, and also ExxonMobil Baton Rouge. So again, this program has many partners and collaborators and stakeholders that want to see small businesses and micro enterprises in East Baton Rouge Parish survive and thrive during COVID-19. You see on the screen there our email address. This is if you have any questions after the session, but also this is how you submit your additional documentation for your application. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us by email. A couple of notes. So these funds are to be used for rent, utilities, inventory, accounts payable, those operational costs that will assist the small business in meeting their immediate short-term financial needs. Our micro grants will be reviewed and awarded on a rolling basis until all funds are dispersed. There'll be special priority given to minority, women, veteran, and service-disabled veteran-owned firms. And also, we're giving special priority to those businesses that are providing any medical, food delivery, cleaning, and other support services for home health, quarantine, even the manufacturers of PPE equipment like masks, gloves, head coverings. All of those things to support our community during COVID-19 for safeguards in the way of COVID-19. And so again, special priority will be given to those businesses. I want to start off by talking to you about the eligibility requirements. Before you do anything, complete the application, submit any documentation, all of this information is included on our webpage. At the urbanleaguela.org/restart EBR. And I want to encourage you to please read through the eligibility requirements and read through the basis of the program so that you have an understanding of the intent of the program, the eligibility requirements, and the necessary documentation that is required. As I mentioned, this funding is a part of the CARES Act and is a part of federal funding through HUD. That means that there are a number of documents, there are a number of requirements that we must adhere to. And so again, as you look at the website and you review these eligibility requirements, please make sure that you are applying, if you are applying, that you are eligible. So first thing, you must be a small business as defined by the SBA side standards. Independent contractor or self-employed individuals are welcome to apply and are eligible to apply. You must be an individual that resides in EBR and that is confirmed an LMI individual, or at least 51% owned by an individual that resides in EBR and operates in an LMI census tract. I'll let on the next screen, I'm going to go through what that means, and so you can have a firm understanding on whether or not your business is eligible. And so stay tuned and I'll give you more information on that. We are talking about low to moderate income individuals and census tracts. Also, a small business where you're located in EBR, operating and registered to do business in EBR. You're registered as an entity in good standing with the Secretary of State. You've been in operation the full year of 2019 or at least 12 months prior to March 11th, 2020. That means if you started your business in March of 2020, you are not eligible for this program. That means that if you started your business in October of 2019, you are not eligible for this program. You would have had to be in business for the full year of 2019 or March 11th, 2019. That's what that statement means. A small business with a gross revenue of no more than $250,000 in 2019 or the 12 months prior to March 11th, 2020. Again, if you know that in 2019, your business had revenue, that means top line sales, not profit. If your business had top line sales of more than $250,000, you are not eligible for the Resilient Restart EBR microgrants program. Again, I will emphasize certain points of what I've seen so far in terms of individuals that are submitting applications. Again, this is one that we're seeing with individuals that are, or businesses that had revenue of more than $250,000 in 2019 are applying. If this is the case, you are not eligible for the program. No more than 15 full-time employees and able to demonstrate a loss of business revenue of 25% or more related to COVID-19. This is important because as a part of this funding, we must demonstrate, you must demonstrate that, and we must verify that your business has seen a loss of revenue of at least 25% or more. We do that by assessing your revenue in 2019, looking at your revenue in 2020, for year to date, January through June of 2020. We annualize it and look at the difference. If that difference is more than 25% or more, then you are eligible. If it is not, then you are not eligible for the program. And so again, these things are requirements based on the federal CARES Act funding, also HUD guidelines. And so we want to make sure that everybody understands that these are just not nice to have. These are required for eligibility for the program, and exceptions cannot be made.
Susan McClassy?
Uh-huh.
I do have a couple of people with questions.
Okay.
Okay, so the first question, this person is requesting guidance because her business is located in Baton Rouge. She uses her mom's address in Prairieville because the billing address is reliable. And she got an email saying that she wasn't eligible because her business wasn't in Baton Rouge due to the mailing address. Is there anything she can do about that?
No, it's because if the business address, if she is so let me go through a couple of the eligibility requirements so that she can see where there is an issue. And again, if her business is established in an area that is not, based on the eligibility requirements, then there's nothing we can do about that. But let me go through a couple of the eligibility requirements, and then I'll take another break for questions.
Okay.
So let's talk about this, because again, I've been working with folks and working with them to understand the eligibility requirements. So there are two tracks. The first, and these again are based on our HUD guidelines. So there's two tracks. The first is, do you have 5 or less employees? If you do, then you are considered a microenterprise. If you are a microenterprise, then you have to have at least 51% of the business owned by an individual that resides in East Baton Rouge Parish and is confirmed as an LMI individual. Resides in means lives in East Baton Rouge Parish. So you'll see when we get to the required documentation of why we ask for certain things, because you need to confirm that you reside in East Baton Rouge Parish. In addition, you're confirmed as a low to moderate income individual. A lot of people are getting tripped up on this because the low to moderate income individual, again, is based on HUD guidelines, and I'll share that with you in the next slide. The principal place of business is registered to do business in East Baton Rouge Parish. If you are not, then you don't meet the eligibility requirements. In good standing with the Secretary of State's office, again, no more than $250 in revenue, and able to demonstrate a loss of revenue of 25% or more related to COVID-19. So that's the first track. The first question, again, how many employees do you have? If you have 5 or less, then you follow the track for a micro enterprise. If you have 6 or more employees, your business is considered a small business, right? If you are a small business, the business must operate in an LMI census tract in East Baton Rouge Parish. And so I'll show you how to confirm that. We also confirm it on our end, but if you have 6 or more employees, I'll show you how to confirm whether or not you are in a low to moderate income census tract. The business provides direct services to businesses in the LMI census tract, nail salons, barbershops, retail shops. The principal place of business is registered in East Baton Rouge Parish in good standing, the Louisiana Secretary of State's office. Again, the same revenue requirement and demonstration of business revenue loss due to COVID-19. So again, this is a federal program, which means that there are certain requirements and also documentation required to confirm whether or not you meet the standards, the HUD standards for the microenterprise or the small business. So for example, if you have documentation, we look at your Secretary of State's confirmation of good standing, all of your tax return, all of your business documents, and they present your business as having a address that is not in East Baton Rouge Parish, right? Then you are not eligible, right? And so again, that is just an example, again, based on the question that was just raised. But there is, again, we can't change that requirement, right? We can't make an exception to that requirement. So again, that's why it's so important for our small businesses to make sure that your documentation and business structure, all of your business dealings are accurate and accurately reflect how you operate, where you operate, because it matters when there are opportunities that come up for you to be able to leverage as you move forward. And I'm not speaking about just this opportunity, any other opportunity in regards to funding, getting a loan, getting whether it's debt, equity, whatever it is. We need to make sure that we get our finances, our paperwork, documentation in order to be able to take advantage of some of these opportunities. So let me talk about LMI, Erica, and then we'll move on to another question. So okay. The first part, if you are a micro enterprise and you are trying to determine if you are an LMI individual, again, we must use the HUD guidelines for income limits in the area. And so this chart displays, and this is also on our website. If you go down to the bottom of the page, there's a frequently asked questions section, and how do I determine my eligibility is the very first question, and you can get the content of both of these slides on that in that section on our website. But if you, let's for example, have 3 persons in your family, in your household, and you had income on your tax return of, let's say, $30,000, that means that you meet the requirement as a very low income individual. That's again, go to the column, select the number of people in the household, and then go down to the amount to determine whether or not you are a low to moderate income individual. If this is confusing for you, no worries. We assist with determining this. Again, based on your application, we assist all individuals with determining whether they qualify as an LMI individual. Again, before you even start to gather documents, you can reference this chart, or you can email us to assist you with figuring and determining that out. The second part, if you are a small business, remember, if you have 6 or more employees, then you need to be operating in an LMI census tract in East Baton Rouge Parish. So how do we determine a LMI census tract? So there's a tool that you can use. It's the FFI EC's website, which is, it's just a census and demographic tool where you can enter your address. And once you click on census demographic data, it will tell you the tract income level for your business address, the tract income level for your business address. So again, if you have any issues with using this website, with determining it, you can reach out to us, but you can see the tract income level in this example is moderate. And so again, those businesses that are low to moderate income census tracts would be eligible for the Resilient Restart EBR Small Business Microgrants Program. So again, determining whether, first of all, you're considered a micro enterprise or a small business is the first step. And then you follow the steps for that particular type of business. And again, if you need assistance with this, we can help. Also, there are, we haven't seen too much of this, but these are some of the ineligible firms. If you know that you are a charitable organization, a 501c3, if you know that you operate not on sales, but on grant funding or other types of funding that are outside of income-related sales or revenue-generating operations, then you are not eligible for this program. And then you can see some of the others there. And then other business types may be deemed ineligible at the discretion of the Urban League of Louisiana and the City of Baton Rouge, East Baton Rouge Parish. And so again, please read carefully on the website before you submit all of the documents, because if you are not eligible, we cannot make an exception. And so again, if you have questions about that, please feel free to reach out to us before you start submitting documents. And I'm going to stop there, Erica, to see if you have any questions.
There is one from Ricky. He says, I've been trying to register with SAM and I have not been able to do so. And he's asking what to do. How can he do that?
So it depends on what issue you're having. I know that SAM has a help desk and an email address that you can reach out to. And we can support you with identifying what the issue is offline. But please, if you can, just send us an email at restartebr@urbanleaguela.org. But again, there is should be a help or support link on the sam.gov website that you can access as well to determine what issue you're having. And so we don't have any access to any records or the functionality of sam.gov. But we are more than willing to assist you in any way that we can if you have explored the website and not been able to get support from SAM.
Okay, and that catches us up for our questions.
Thank you, thank you. So I want to move on to our required documentation. So it's really important. It's really important to, before you start to gather information, gather documents, please read through on the website. Everything that we're covering here has been provided on the website. And so I know that sometimes when you're looking to apply for these types of programs, it can be a little bit overwhelming. But I will say this, I encourage you to take the time to read through so that you are not spending time with developing and getting your documents together, and you may not be eligible or meet the requirements. And so please read through to make sure that you understand the requirements before you start to submit information. So of course, the required documentation includes the program application, which on the website is the part 1 of the application process. So that is the online application that gives us the basic information for your business. Please keep in mind that you must provide your EIN and a DUNS number on that form. And so I'll show you, if you don't know how to get a DUNS number, I'll show you that in another screen or two. But that's the first part of the application. The second part, part 2, includes additional documentation. So you must provide confirmation of your EIN or your social security number, a driver's license or bill to show documentation of your residency, a confirmation of good standing with the Secretary of State's office. You must be registered on sam.gov to receive this federal funding. Also, your 2019 tax return. Of course, personal returns are accepted for our independent contractors and individuals. Please note that we cannot take your 2018 tax return and an extension for 2019 in place of your 2019 federal tax return. And this is because we need to establish the impact of your business from last year to this year based on COVID-19. So we cannot look at your 2018 federal tax return. If you had payroll in 2020, please provide that information. 2019 income statement and your year-to-date income statement. These documents should show monthly sales and a total. Monthly sales and a total, because we need to calculate the impact of your business, of COVID-19 on your business, of your sales. Again, that's top line sales, not profit. Your profit is not considered. And also IRS Form W-9. We cannot process, if you are awarded, we cannot process a check disbursement without the latest version of the W-9 form, which is the 2018 version. And then any other documents as requested. As we go through applications, there may be where we need to get additional information to confirm something. And so there may be some other documents requested. Again, this is part 1, which many of you have completed. Please note that your application does not go in review simply because you have submitted part 1. I'm getting a lot of questions saying, what is the status of my application? There is no status of your application if you have not completed part 2. There is no way that we can determine your eligibility for the Resilient Restart program without you completing part 2. So we have at this point over 300 applications where most of them are only part 1. So if you are have reviewed the eligibility requirements and you have completed the online application part 1, we are awaiting part 2. We are awaiting your required documents. Again, this is the application package, and we cannot even start the process of considering your application if you have not completed part 2. And again, all of the required documents that we just covered are required. They're required. We do, the list is not a nice to have list. It is required so that we can make the decision based on the federal requirements and guidelines and based on HUD's guidelines. And so again, if you have only submitted part 1, your application is complete and there is no status in terms of your award or the termination of an award. So on the application, we do require a DUNS number. In order to obtain a government DUNS, you can go to this link. And it's a fairly simple process. All you need to do is provide 2 documents. And There's no need to include any personal information, you know, like a driver's license, passport, anything like that for the DUNS. This is a government DUNS for government funding opportunities for government business. And so you do need to obtain a DUNS in order for you to be eligible for the program. Confirmation of your EIN or social security number. Our standard required documentation for an EIN is this form that you received when you applied for your EIN, for your employer identification number from the IRS. You received this document. This confirms your EIN. So the reason why we request this is because sometimes individuals enter the number wrong on other documents, and we need to make sure that if we are issuing funds, we need to make sure of the EIN is attached to those funds. Some people, individuals that are operating as sole proprietors, still use their social security number. There is no need to send us a social security card. We can use your tax return, but again, the number has to be accurate, and you have to first send us the tax return to be able to reference the numbers on those forms. And so again, we run into situations where we even have an EIN. EINs are not included on your Schedule C. And so again, if you have this document, this is the best form to use. And again, you know, we can verify the social security number from your tax return. If you have any questions about that, please let us know. If you lost or misplaced your EIN and you want to use your EIN, here are some of the ways in which you can identify and find your EIN. This is from the IRS's website for a lost or misplaced EIN. Again, the notice that you saw on the previous screen is the first method of identifying your EIN. Then you have to submit the EIN document to open a bank account for state or local licenses. So if you use it for that, you can identify it on those documents. Previously filed tax return. Again, we just need to verify that the number is accurate, or you can reach out to the IRS. Confirmation of state residency, a simple document that has your license or a bill. You don't have to provide both, it's one or the other. Either your license or a utility bill that confirms your state residency. And so again, those two documents are required for the program. Confirmation of good standing with the Secretary of State's office. You know, this is important to note. Please do not send your annual report. We don't need the annual report. We need the confirmation from the Secretary of State's office that says that your business is in good standing. This is the website that you can use. You can also go to, you know, just search for the Secretary of State and go to GoBiz and do a commercial search. Once you get to that website, you can enter the name of your business. And then once you enter the name, select the business. Typically, if it's a unique name, then only one will come up. And you go ahead and you print a detailed record. If you can see here, this is where it tells you whether or not you are in good standing. Please do not submit this if you are not in good standing. If you are not in good standing, that means you need to file your annual report with the Secretary of State's office. And then once that happens, you can print your detailed record here. But this is where you check this is the confirmation that we need here, where it says in good standing. And then of course you print that detailed record and send as a PDF file. SAM registration. I know we had one question about having issues with the SAM registration. There is a help function here on the page. You first have to set up your user account and register your business, and then you can go ahead and you'll be eligible for the search, to be able to search. It does take a couple of days to do that. So once you set up your user account and register your business, there is an email that comes from sam.gov to confirm your registration with the sam.gov website. If you would send that email to us as a document, the email confirmation, you can convert it to a PDF. Please send that to us, and that is enough to satisfy the requirement until your SAM registration is searchable in the database. So you can see here where you can search. But again, if you are not registered, then you will not be, we will not be able to find your record on the site. This is the final page that we need. It has the confirmation that you have no exclusions. So has active exclusion, no is what we need to see. And so again, we will make sure that you get registered with SAM. And again, you can send us the email that confirms your registration for your entity. If you didn't issue payroll in 2020, there's no need to submit. If you, in your application, if we see that you list that you had payroll, please make sure that you provide the documentation. Again, if you did not issue payroll, there's nothing that you need to do here for payroll records. Your federal tax return for LLCs and sole proprietors, please submit your 1040 as well as your Schedule C for your business profit and loss. So again, please do not send the Schedule C by itself. You must submit the entire return. Again, this is how we verify your household income for the LMI eligibility requirement. So please make sure that you send your full return. If you are a corporation, CS, it doesn't matter. If you're a corporation and you are submitting an 1120, you must submit the applicant's 1040 and their K1. Again, if you are a corporation, you must, and you are submitting the 1120 to verify the business revenue and to confirm the business the business's existence. You must also complete and submit the 1040 and the K1. 2018 returns cannot be accepted in lieu of your 2019 returns. Please do not submit photos of your business documents. These will not be accepted. Photos of your business documents will not be accepted. A lot of folks are submitting their driver's license as a photo. That's fine. Your business documents should not be sent as individual pictures attached to the email. We will not be able to accept these. They should be sent in a single file. And you should also label your file of what is, based on what the content is. Again, do not submit individual pictures of your returns. They will not be accepted. Your income statement showing monthly sales. This is, again, what we need to determine the revenue loss between 2019 and year-to-date 2020. And so, again, this document does not have to be extremely detailed. All we need to understand is what was your revenue, right, in expenses for the period. Also, please note that if you are using this template that we provided on the website, this free template, please make sure that when you have completed it and the document is finalized, that you extend the margins so that all of the numbers show up. If the fields are too small, the numbers will turn into a number sign, right? And so you want to make sure that you extend the field so that we're able to see it. One of the issues that we're running into is that individuals are completing this form. The margins are too small, and so we can't see the numbers, especially if you convert it to a PDF. We have no way of adjusting it. So please make sure that before you send the file, that you can actually see all of the numbers, and make sure that regardless of if you're using this document, again, this template that we provide a link to on our website, or if you're using your own document, please make sure that you input a total for the period. Please make sure that you're inputting a total. Standard business documents that you should have. And this is one of the places where, we encourage our businesses to, understand if you're having a challenging time with these, then please reach out to us, because beyond the Resilient Restart program, or included in the Resilient Restart program, I should say, we do offer technical assistance to small businesses who just need support with getting their financials in order, with getting their documentation in order, with working on whether it's marketing, operations, a business development plan, whatever that may be. Please feel free to reach out to us. But these are what you should know and understand about your business on an ongoing basis. And so again, if you need help and support with getting to that place where you can assess your business financials and have the reports that you need on hand, please feel free to reach out to us. The same document is needed for year-to-date 2020. And again, we are asking for January through June. And so if you can provide this information, and you provide this information through June, please make sure that you include the total for the period. Again, this can be this template that is used, again, that we have provided a link to on our website, or you may feel free to use your own. The IRS Form W-9 is a required document for the Urban League of Louisiana. In order to process a check disbursement, in the event that you are awarded, we must have a W-9 on file. That must be the latest version of the W-9, which is October 2018. Please remember, if you have been using the same W-9 for years, please look in the upper left-hand corner to make sure that it's an October 8, 2018 version. If it is any prior year version, we will not be able to accept it. That means you need to complete a new W-9. You also need to make sure that it is complete. The very first thing that I want to point out is that the very first line must be completed, right? This is either the individual's name or the business name. The name should be as shown on your tax return. And then the second line is the business name or entity that is different from the above. So for example, John Doe. And then my company name goes down, ABC Company. So again, but the first line must be completed. In addition, part 3, if you are checking, so there's a difference here. There's an individual, sole proprietor, or single member LLC. If you have your business set up as in that structure, then you select this box, C Corp, S Corp, partnership. However, if you are qualify as an LLC with more than one member, multiple members, right? That's different from this box. If you are an LLC with multiple members, you still need to input your tax classification as C, S, or P. And that is what you need to input into this box. So a lot of, again, for some of our S Corps that qualify in this space, we're forgetting to put the tax classification. So please make sure that you input that information correctly. Also, making sure that your business address is what you would prefer, one is where you do business and where you want your check to be mailed. Also, and make sure that this is accurate. Also, part 1, Social Security number or EIN. Do not mark both of these sections. If you use your EIN for your business operations, for all of your business transactions, I should say, then you should enter your EIN here. But if you're a sole proprietor and use your Social Security number, you want to enter that. Again, it's one or the other, and it's not both. If it's both, we cannot process it. And then, of course, don't forget to sign or date the document. Sign and date the document. So we're coming up on time. I want to go through a couple of do's and don'ts, and then I'll open it back up for questions. Please review, go through the website, look at the eligibility requirements, look at the required documents, make sure that you're eligible and then one, able and have your documents ready to go. We're receiving several emails from individuals with documents at different times. It is holding up processing. And so we want to make sure that you understand that you should gather all the documents before you submit. Also make sure that you are not sending multiple photos. Again, the only document or required piece of documentation that can be sent as a photo is your license. Other than that, all documents need to be sent as PDF, Word, or Excel files. And again, please be mindful of that, as we will not be able to accept photos of your business documents. Also, if you are submitting documents, please make sure that you label them with the content of the document. It is extremely time consuming to go through documents to determine what they are. And so we need to make sure that we are labeling documents and not submitting documents with a host of numbers in the file name. We need to make sure that we are accurately tracking, and what it does is just holds up the processing time. And so please be mindful of that. Documents should be sent in one email. Once you submit part one, you should submit part two to all of the documents, with all of the documents to Restart EBR at urbanleaguela.org. Also, make sure in the email that you put what this is for, EBR document upload, and you input your name there. Input your name in the brackets where it says insert applicant name here. If we have questions for you, please respond to them as soon as possible. If you, and this is just a general note, please check your junk email often. This is just a standard practice, just because there is increased security across platforms and across, I guess, platforms for managing emails. So whether it's Outlook or AOL, Yahoo, any, Gmail, whatever it is, please keep a check on your junk email and make sure that there's nothing in there that is important. Don't submit until you gather all the documents. Please do not submit links to Google Drive or other iCloud accounts. Again, this is not the way that we can process information or process your applications quickly, and it also exposes us to additional risks. Do not submit documents as pictures. I can't stress that enough. Do not submit documents in separate emails at separate times. Again, we are working really hard and diligently to make sure that small businesses, that you all have the information and are able to get access, if you're eligible to this opportunity, as quickly as possible. And so we just want to make sure that we are not holding up the process on the administrative side. The application process, once we receive the application, it will go into review. Again, some of you have received emails that state whether or not your application is in review based on the information that we have. You will also, if you are rejected, you will receive a notice with causes. And then if you are a recipient of the award, then we will send an email to let you know that you've been awarded, but also to request an invoice for the award. Once you sent us the invoice, and then we will process the payment for disbursement, and please allow 7 to 10 days after you have submitted the invoice in order to receive your disbursement. Again, if you have questions or need technical assistance, and this is, again, in support of the Restart program, but even if you are not awarded, we encourage you to reach out to the Urban League of Louisiana for support with your small business. We host a number of trainings weekly. We're hosting 3 to 4 trainings to support small businesses through the COVID-19 pandemic, but again, beyond it. So if you're looking for support with establishing your business, developing a business plan, with understanding how you need to set up your business financials, to understand how you need to structure your business, to understand how you need to scale or grow your business and what resources you can get access to, please feel free to reach out to us. We can provide support and assistance, again, at no cost to your business. And so feel free to reach out to us. You can email us at Restart EBR, but also this information is included on our website. If you go to the bottom of the page, you'll see technical assistance, and you'll see a link there for our client intake form, and also how you can email us to get access to all of our trainings. And so with that, let's go to questions.
Okay, there's an individual with a couple of questions. She is curious why January and February sales and revenue are included in the calculation of 25% loss of sales, since COVID effects were later in March and after.
So we are looking at January, so we're looking at year to date. So the calculation is based on January through June to understand, right, the difference in your revenue year to date versus 2019. And so we use that to calculate and to understand if your business has suffered a loss.
Okay. All right, and the next question from this individual is, so our 2019 tax return is sufficient or documentation of our EIN?
Yes.
Okay. And I think that catches us up for questions. If you guys want to ask anything, please feel free to type it into the questions panel. But we're all caught up right now, Classy.
Okay, I want to give everybody just a couple more minutes to see if there's any additional questions. And we will make this session available online so that you can review the recording if you, again, have any more questions or just want a recap of the information. But again, to get in touch with us and to submit your required documentation, you can email restartebr@urbanleaguela.org. This is how you can connect with us. This is how you can ask any questions or clarifying questions that you have, and also get additional support. In addition, a number of individuals have needed some support with gathering their documents and understanding their eligibility. If you have a need to speak with one of our business advisors or to get help from one of our business advisors in gathering your documents and gathering all of the necessary and understanding the requirements and registering with to get a DUNS or on the SAM registration, please, again, email us at restartebr@urbanleaguela.org, and we will connect you with a business advisor that can support you in completing the application. Again, our goal is to make sure that we are supporting our small businesses. Our goal is to make sure that we get and give access to eligible small businesses to obtain these funds. And so while there are a number of documents that are required, and there are a number of eligibility requirements, we want to make sure that if you are eligible, that you are able to get this the funding. And so please feel free to reach out to us with questions. Please, again, read the website. While it seems like a lot of information there, we wanted to make sure that we were as transparent as possible with all of the documents needed, but also the eligibility requirements so that you can understand whether or not you're eligible and understand the intent of the program. Again, because it is through HUD, CARES Act funding through the Department of Housing and Urban Development. The focus is on LMI individuals and businesses that operate in an LMI census tract. And so again, please read through carefully on the website to ensure that you understand the requirements and that you meet the requirements before submitting your documents. Of course, again, we'll be here to help you along the way. And with that, Erica, are there any more questions?
Yes, someone is asking if they can see the resource link again.
The resource link in terms of?
I'm assuming they meant the Urban League link. If you, Carlos, if you can just type in which resource you're talking about, we can address that for you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No worries. You can just email us and we'll send you all the information that you're looking for. So I have them here on the screen, but I didn't expect for you guys to try to copy those links or write them down. Just email us and we'll send you the links that you need. This link is to access services of the Urban League of Louisiana. So in order to gain access to these services, you would have to become a client and complete our online client intake form. That is what this link is for. This is just a hyperlink to our website, but this is the email that you want to use if you have questions.
Okay, Carlos responded that was the link. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Well,
Someone,
thank you.
go ahead.
Do we have something else?
We do. Someone said, I submitted pictures, so I have to resubmit. Will they give me time to fix it before it's denied? If so, how long?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It will just stay open until you complete it.
Okay, great. And that catches us up on questions again. Thank you, Classy.
Absolutely. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for your interest in the Resilient Restart EBR program. Again, if you have questions, I encourage you to reach out to us. But first and foremost, please make sure that you read through on the website to ensure that you are eligible before you start the process. Again, we thank you for joining us. We will make this session available online on our website. With that, enjoy the rest of the day.